All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back update and information as e dey hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first. We will collect am. E don shele. Sit at home has hit Imo State hard again because around 3 weeks and 2 weeks ago, it looks as if the issue of the sit at home went slow, but this Monday it hit Imo State like never before. Residents we are seen deserting the streets and the rest of them. Let's go down to the full detail of the information. Residents of Owerri and its environs on Monday stayed away from the street and market in compliance with the usual weekly sit-at-home order declared by government. And the resumed sit-at-home order, shops, market, motor parks, banks, schools were shut down while there were few vehicular movements in and around the state. The hotel businesses were brought to a halt even as civil servants and public servants in the state could not go to work. Also, few schools that opened today were later in the day closed, while both major roads like Owerri, Umuahia, Owerri Port Harcourt Road, Owerri Onitsha Road, and Owerri Aba Road were empty. Youth observing their sit-at-home order within their homes converted some of the street roads into football pitches. The few traders who came out at the popular Ekuku Owerri had abandoned their shops and ran away when news of the coming of the government filtered into the areas. The same situation occurred last week Monday when traders ran away for their dear lives to avoid being harmed. Recall that the government had last week sent a letter warning traders in the state that they have not been keeping to the Monday sit-at-home order. In the letter, they equally threatened to come for attack if the traders continue to ignore the order. Our correspondents who moved around the state equally saw security men at the checking points along Owerri Aba Road, Owerri Port Harcourt Road, checking both commercial and private vehicles. Una don see as e dey shele o. The boys don dey serious again because about 3 weeks ago it was as if nothing was happening, that everything calmed down, everything went on a low, but as e dey be now, the men them last week Monday they sent a letter telling the people wey be say dey dey for Imo State say una no dey comply with the sit-at-home order wey be say we give o. Say if we enter there, say e go shele for una o. Say if to say una no dey respect orders wey be say we dey give, say na for una head una go take carry am. The boys dem say they no dey play o. The boys dem say they no dey play, say everybody wey be say dey dey for obodo of Imo State, say all of them must obey this sit-at-home order to avoid tuanya and waka waka. And according to our correspondent from today's information was that even though people that came out for a Owerri, at certain point they heard that the UGM boys were coming. Everybody meow, some people meow, some people feel why. And even self, the kepu wey be say we dey hear for some time though, they say the governor of Imo, wey they call Hope Usondenjo. They say the man no dey dey for Imo, say na for Abuja wey in the day dey govern him own o. They say na for Abuja wey in the day dey do him own governor. And that they say he no dey leave work for deputy or anybody. They say na only him. Only him o. Only him dey do the work. Why make we go to another information? They say how Governor Uzodinma's government destroyed Imo Zoo to sell land to cronies for private properties, try to induce me as Zoom GM. Another one don shele for Hope Uzodinma. Governor Hope Uzodinma's administration destroyed Imo State Zoo and Wildlife Park in Owerri to sell the land to his cronies and political associates. Sahara Reporters gathered that a multi-million naira facility in the state capital was destroyed by the administration of Uzodinma despite court judgment barring him from taking any action on the facility. Giving insight into the destruction of the facility, the former general manager of the Wildlife Conservation Agency, Imo State Zoo and Wildlife Park, Mr. Francis Abioye, told Sahara Reporters in an exclusive interview that his life and those of his family members were being threatened because he refused to accept bribes the governor offered him to support its destruction. Abioye regretted that the federal government agencies that were established to protect the environment, such as the National Environmental Standard and Regulation Enforcement Agencies, NESRA, and Federal Ministry of Environment did nothing to prevent destruction of the zoo and the wildlife park. He insisted that the destruction of the zoo had no approval letters and no budget and planning from any professional ministerial department before it was destroyed, with the hope that once they succeeded, the land would be shared with the cronies. He said, because if my blunt refusal to compromise the ethics of service to protect the public assets from being plundered by the politicians, Governor Uzodinma sent assassins to take out my life. The unlawful persecution meted out to me and my family and the subsequent destruction and looting of public assets under me would not have been possible without the convenience of Imo State Police Commissioner Mohammed Bade, who has been using Imo State Police machinery to carry out the unlawful desires of the political actors in the state, where the governor has made the perfect the enemy of the good. Explaining how the governor had promised that his government would complete the upgrade of the facility to international standard, Abioye said little did he know that his interest was only in the value of the land. The zoological park garden in the city capital and their eyes are on the value of the land. They are not interested in the development of the place, he said. The location, he noted, made it a perfect attraction for the governor and his political appointees to convert and appropriate to themselves to the detriment of the good people of the state. Abioye noted that successive governments in the state had invested heavily in the facility to the extent that hundreds of millions of naira had been spent on building modern enclosures for animals so that they would no longer be in cage, but regretted that all of them had been destroyed. He became more promising that he was going to restore the master plan. He was going to update it to international standard, but the only thing he did is that he began to turn his policies, telling me that we should cooperate so that they will destroy the place and convert it to private estate for politicians and their political allies. Because if he sells the land, the price is over 30 billion. That is their interest, and they were not thinking of the long-term value of the company. You know that the place is sensitive ecosystem that serves as watersheds, which wall off gully erosions that threatens the whole of the metropolis. The place serves as a carbon sink that absorbs all the pollution. Pollution is always concentrated in the city capital, so they are not looking at the climate change mitigation, research and education purposes. That place is the only conservation area where the youth and children unborn in Imo State come for their ecosystem education. That is also the place where students we are training in the higher institution and non-professionals in the state come and do their industrial attachment, and some of them will be employed there. Now, ending that place is ending the story of the conversation in Imo State. These are the things I told them. As a professional, Abioye explained, adding that the government insisted on the destruction. They offered me a very big bribe, which I rejected, and so I was because I rejected the bribe. This thing was going on for almost half years. When asked to name the amount of money he was offered as bribe. He said, the agents of the government offered me 4 plots of land that will be my court, and a plot of land there is 80 million. Then they offered me 40 million cash. So the rejection of all those inducements frustrated them, and my refusal to cooperate with the committee. The governor in his office now said I should be part of the committee to give the justification for the destruction of that place and converting it into housing estate. Since I spoke with him, governor, and I convinced him and he didn't want to agree, so I refused to cooperate with the committee. When I couldn't cooperate with the committee, he asked me to proceed on leave, and it's on another meeting now. With his political appointees, I told him, Your Excellency, if you grant me leave like this, it will mean there is punitive measure. But if you feel that I have committed my offense, set up a panel, give them the terms of reference, and if they find me guilty, I am going to pay back to the state. I am going to apologize openly. I am going to resign. He told me he was not ready for all those things. He wanted me to just go and leave, and that if I didn't go and leave, it will be a crime. But I said no. He said I should just go on leave, and that was what he wanted. He said even if I spent 2 years on leave, he would be paying my salary. You know, for over 1 year now, I have been on indefinite leave. He has been paying my salary, but he has destroyed the whole place such that there is nothing that I will meet again if I resume. He lamented. That is the level of impunity, and he has destroyed the whole of the place. My people, I don't see it happen. All these things are happening in Imo State. Meanwhile, I'll be winding down the curtain here.